Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're live and on the air inside the headset. Our sponsor tonight is John Jones. John Jones Real Estate. Nobody sells homes like John. Going to roll over to Knoxville. Our first conversation was in Helena, Alabama, but we're going to roll over to Knoxville. Knox Catholic sitting right now at 3-0. They beat Winter Haven, Florida, Friday night, 34-14. We bring live and on the air the head coach of the Knox Catholic Fighting Irish, head coach Philip Shadowens. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing great, Stork. How you doing?
Doing well. Take us through it. 34-14, big win for the Fighting Irish over Winter Haven.
Yeah, we started our senior quarterback Friday night, and he played the first two series. And we drove down the field, got stopped first time at the goal line, and then we got the ball back pretty quickly. Defense played great and went down and scored. And he was in quite a bit of pain. He's not quite ready to play full time yet, and so we took him out and put Mac Bartholomew, who's thrown the ball so good for us the first two games, and has played most of the reps. And he went in and kind of Jaden might have played one more series, I think, but Mac led us the rest of the way. And we didn't play great in the first half. Honestly, we were up 13-7 and a half, and came out in the third quarter and put the game away pretty quickly, and was able to play, a ton of kids for the rest of the game, and won 34-14, and probably had a chance to score a couple more, but was really pleased with the victory against a very talented athletic team from Winter Haven, and so it was a good win for us.
What'd you feel like you learned about your ball club Friday night, Coach?
Well, the thing about our kids, they just keep playing. We had a punt block. I had a punt blocked. We had a sub in for a kid that had been out for a couple plays, and we missed a blocking protection and gave them the ball on the 6-yard line. That's how they scored and tied up in the first half. But our kids kept battling, kept fighting. Didn't lose their poise, which can happen sometimes when something goes haywire. But our kids played hard the entire ball game and played with some poise even when things were not going good. And when things are going bad, you got to find a way to change that momentum, and that's what I've told our kids. It's up to us. Nothing magical is going to happen. When things are going the wrong direction, somebody's got to step up and make a play, and we were able to do that, and I think that was a great lesson for them.
Do you think you're growing experience-wise as you get ready to head into, the gauntlet? I mean, should it be coming along a little quicker, or still got a lot of growing up to do? You got a gauntlet ahead of you, but where are you as you start to think, in your eyeing your opponents down the road, and you got to kind of start thinking, this one we're going to be, it's going to be tough, but this, we can win it, but this one here we're going to have to play perfect. So where are you in that sense as you stare down your depth and where you are?
Well, there's not a game in which we're ever going to play perfect. So there's not a game on our schedule that I say, hey, we got to play perfect to win. I mean, we know who we play in our league. Everybody knows who we play in our league, but you got to go out and play football and play with confidence no matter who you're playing. So yeah, we're young. That's not an excuse for anything, to be honest with you. We're playing a lot of freshmen, some sophomores, and all that. Hey, nobody cares about all that. Bottom line is, if we're going to put you on the field on Friday night, we have high expectations for you. Our kids understand. They're at Knoxville Catholic. They understand what our competition is. That's the reason a lot of them wanted to come to Knoxville Catholic. So tomorrow night absolutely will be a good test for us. I mean, a Friday night will be a great test for us in Innsworth. But, we don't have any different expectations in that game than we do every other game, and that's to find a way to win a football game, and that's what we expect to do. And we understand competition is going to be fierce, but Winter Haven was as fast as any team we're going to play all year long. They didn't have as much depth up front. They were good up front, but their depth kind of wore down pretty quick up front. But obviously going into our league play now, and we understand what that is. But we've gotten better and better, and our kids are playing with a lot of confidence. And Friday night's going to be a challenge, but every Friday night's a challenge. So bottom line is we expect to win.
Injury wise, you felt like you come away okay?
It came out good. We got a couple kids back this week that hadn't been playing, coming in this week. One of them's a freshman that's, I think, like fourth ranked in the Southeast at corner, and a really special player, and he hadn't been able to play with the little ankle deal he had going on. And so this will be the first week he's there. And we got a couple other kids that have been banged up that are going to be available to us that hadn't been available very much. So for the most part, you have dings, you have bruises, and you have sprains, you have all those things. But But all in all, we've been blessed injury wise.
Yeah, and so you probably won't see any. I mean, you might see a little rain, but you're not going to get the wind like you have when you did play in Middle Tennessee. You coached in Middle Tennessee, and I was telling somebody the other night, I was like, oh gosh, we played Blackman. I can't remember the name of the hurricane, but we played Blackman at home in 2004. And then played Ron in that battle over there in 2009. So I've been through two hurricanes, and one of them I filmed. That 2009 game I filmed when you coached against Riverdale, when you was at Blackman. I mean, I was in the film booth with your coaches, I was in the coaches booth because there was no room in the Riverdale press box, and we had to get that video, but. You've been in some hurricane games, hadn't you, Coach?
I have. In 2004 is when we dedicated the field to Mr. Rakes that night, and we moved it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was against Blackman. We moved it to Thursday, trying to think that the hurricane was coming in on Friday.
Yep.
Well, it ended up the hurricane came in early. And, we were dedicating the field to Mr. Rakes. Had a lot of people there for that, and umbrellas were turning inside out. We punted once to Blackman, and it went backwards. And we found a way. We found a way to win that game that night. But on Friday night I went scouting, and it was as pretty a night as you could ever have. We made a bad decision on changing it, but that's part of the deal. So yeah, we've had. I mean, our prediction here is like 20% chance of showers on Friday. Now they expect it to come in later in the weekend, and maybe the Tennessee game may get some rain. But for us, who knows? I mean, it could change. Obviously, it's a hurricane. You never know which way it's going to, move or whatever. But they think here Friday night, at least the latest forecast as of 30 minutes ago was that, we may see a few little showers, but it's just 20% chance, and then it kind of increases as the weekend goes along. But so we'll have a plan in case it were to rain like that. And I talked to our coaches about that today after practice, and we'll have a plan either way. But we're going to kind of do what we do. That's who we are. We play on a turf field, so it's not like it would be a mud fest like it was against Riverdale that year. That we played at Blackman before they had turf, and it was just an absolute mud fest. But we got turf, so we can dry balls and we'll be fine. It's a turf field, so we're in good shape.
Well, and the only thing is the wind. That's the other thing. Middle Tennessee. I mean, if it's gusting around, if it gets up around 20 and 25, like they say it might, on Friday night, it's going to be difficult to whiz that ball around with that type of, because you just don't know when it's going to gust. You have no idea.
When you have those gusts, it affects the kicking game. It obviously affects the throw game with the deep ball, but it really affects the kicking game when you start punting that thing up in the air and it blows back at you, and so it can change games for sure. And I don't know. I'm sure there'll be some people that think about moving games to tomorrow night. I don't know how that's going to work in Middle Tennessee, but here we're not doing anything. We're playing on Friday night, 7:30, and here against Dansworth, and we can't wait for that opportunity.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck. Go Fighting Irish, and we'll talk to you real soon on Inside the Headset.
Thank you, Stork. Appreciate it, buddy.
See you. Bye.